Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And first of all, thank you for Maggie for doing all this work she did. So, as most of you know me, I don't know if I should introduce, but I'm Rama. I have two last names. One is Nandiwada, another is Chivakula. Not many people have the name Rama anymore, so I might be only one in the New England area. That's a woman, she. So today's topic is AI adoption in Agile, the strategy, best practices, pitfalls, and live demos. I wanted to keep it light, but I think I should introduce myself to a little more about my own journey and why I'm speaking on this topic today. So I started my journey when Mickey Mouse was one of my favorite characters. And in college, we were assigned to animate a Mickey Mouse. And I was from statistics and accounting background, and everybody else was from computer science and bachelor's degrees in mathematics. Everybody else was able to do, but I could not do it. I couldn't even do a Mickey Mouse wave. So I was frustrated. And around the same time, I saw the chess where the deep blue beats Kasparov in chess straight up. I was like, wow, is this the magic carpet? Is it going to one day the deep seek is going to open a door like in Alibaba 40 Thieves story that we read in childhood, a magic door with my voice, and I started showing a lot of interest. And then I realized, oh, there is mathematics behind, there is data and there is logic. But if I let go mathematics for someone else to do, especially Deep Blue, I might sustain well in this field. So I finished my master's degree and went into accounting related works and then statistics related works. But then I ended up in EMC, and I had this background in statistics and have a way for looking at the data. So there were a lot of problems in cloud-based storage, which is new in those days in year 2000 times. So I created a pet product where I used Linux commands to question some data from the clusters directly and then use API related Java API to export it to comma separated spreadsheets and then use Excel macros and APIs to create a visualization so we can fine tune and identify where the network latency is, how much time it is taking for me to query this. So it became instant success and I got funded by EMC and I named it Centera Viewer because the cloud was Centera and this was Centera Viewer. To this date, this is past 24 years and it is still in the market with my original branding. And Centera is always shipped with Centera Viewer. And then comes life, where the product is with them, the market is still there, but I got laid off and life happened. So that opened the voice door for me in a different way. I said, open sesame. I went to Babson and I went to start my company within the Babson itself. And I created intuitive SaaS products. We didn't use AI wording at that time, but I started creating products. And after life happened, and now I'm still doing the product strategy, life cycle, agile, and change management. So long, but that's my story. And I am always intuitive. I think the data is more important. And instead of building how we can use what we have, what others have, then starting from the scratch is always my idea. And it always worked for many technologies, and it's working very well for AI, although little different, which we will discuss later on. So, given that, I would like to know from you all, the audience, what is or are, because we do multiple roles generally, what are your agile roles? and the task or ceremony that you really, really dislike. It's in the chat. Please take a second to respond.
I'm sorry, did I post the wrong one, Rama?
It's okay.
I can change it. What do you dislike? Oh boy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, we're getting some good responses. Oh, come on. What do you got against the retrospective? It's like my favorite.
The blame game, right?
No blame.
Just kidding.
Maybe it's because I bring cookies to the retrospective, so that's the.
Hey, Rama, could you do me a favor and rephrase the question?
What is your role in the agile field? Product owner, scrum master, whatever it may be. And is there a specific task in your job or a specific agile ceremony you dislike to do? You don't like to do it, but you have to. It's in the chat if you see. So I see a lot of answers about sprint planning, retrospection, um, as well as writing some stories. I think I saw a couple of them. Maggie, you want to summarize?
Yeah, I want to summarize that people have a lot of good, lot of good, a lot of good points. But it seems like we have a lot of product owners, transformation folks, POs, project managers, coaches, scrum masters, and everyone's got a lot of different. There's people hating on retros, which I don't get. Quarterly planning, sprint planning, every aspect of PI planning. Seems like there's there's a lot of hate to go around for. Oh, here's a good one: compiling sprint reports and executive summary reporting. It's a nice thing to hate on, and more sprint planning. Yeah.
So the first thing is AI is here to help. It's kind of a love and hate, just like our retrospections, where we do need it, but we can't really like it. So very similar is AI. And how do we adapt to AI? I will come to the points you have given slowly. But the strategies, the first step is accept the change. AI is here for good. We can't get rid of it. We can't live without it. So it's everywhere. Um, so the first step I would say is use ChatGPT. It's better than a colleague or a friend or a therapist. Vent out your fear, anger, resistance, and frustration to AI. Recently, I tried. Oh my God, I had so much time in getting a contract. There was big gap. So I said, I am really frustrated with you. I created my resume for high ATS score using ChatGPT, and a company that uses ChatGPT screened out my resume for low ATS score. I hate you. And you can't believe how much empathetically it responded and said, can you give the company name? I will research and create a better resume for you. Sorry that happened. And maybe they are using a different AI to screen it out. I will research for you and let you know. I said, wow, this is awesome. So it's always with self. When we start a new journey, anything new, It always starts with self, then introducing in the company and in the professional use. So start with the personal use. And the first thing to do is learning AI prompting. In the demo section, we will go through a small framework, which is easier for agile teams than non-agile people. But remember that AI is as stupid and as smart as our prompt. So if AI did not give you right input or output, it means that we are doing something wrong. We have to improve our prompts. And then we have to delegate. First thing is delegate whatever you hate. I will show you some tools, but eventually we may be able to get to more. So delegate whatever you don't like, especially the repetitive tasks and boring tasks and people who put you on the spot and ask for it, that kind of things. We will go through what are the possibilities and feasibilities, and then implement your subject matter expertise and review. Because when you are learning to prompt, you don't know what is working or what is not working to do something that you don't know very well. So start with something you very well know. If you are a product owner, start with asking to write a story and then correct the prompt and learn and get it in the right format, and then it will become easy on everything else. Because AI's answers are not always correct, you have to guide a lot, almost like an intern who doesn't want to work and they are still in the college world. And then take back your life. Delegate anything repetitive, anything boring, whether it is personal or professional. Let AI become your assistant, mentor, and best friend. I would say even a therapist. It really, really does wonders. It even does contracts and anything and everything, including your healthcare. So, given that AI is very frustrating to use too. It is taking away your intuition. It is telling you what to do, bossing you, and it doesn't feel right. But your word is suggesting stupid words that you don't like, and you write a piece of article, and somebody else writes the similar one because they used Chat GPT. Chat GPT probably scrolled onto your work and no patents and no boundaries here. So it can be frustrating for writers and creative artists too. So there is kind of like a love and hate relation, right? So I would like to know from you all what irritates you the most about AI, or what you like most about AI. If you could put it in the chat.
Well, can we speak up instead of putting it in the chat?
Oh, sure. That sounds great, actually. Thank you.
The typing would just take longer, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
I think AI, as you rightly said, has taken over our lives. Right from when you said start with self. I recently had the opportunity to go put on a personal level with ChatGPT to understand where I was lacking both personally and professionally, right? There were some very wonderful prompts that gave me really good insights through ChatGPT and areas where I could personally improve. Apart from
Mhm.
that, for your daily job hunt or, right now, with the current market, I think it's pretty volatile, and that's where AI has come into the picture. You just give it, your resume, give it the job description. Hey, get you can be as specific as possible, like, hey, ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever you're using, as be the most critical reviewer ever, and through the lens of a recruiter, analyze this resume and suggest good points to better it to fit the ATS, or to pass the ATS scan. I've had uh,
Awesome.
I've had a
Thank
lot
you,
of
Siddharth.
success with that.
Mhm.
So, just putting it out there. So, the other thing is also, for on a personal level, just give it your date of birth. You say, okay, hey, build a behavioral profile, right? And based on your behavioral profile, when you also feed it your resume, it'll actually tell you points like, okay, because of your varied SQL experience, you have such and such analytical skills where you have more empathy based on your horoscope or your date of birth or your sign, sun sign, right? You have more empathy. So it's a very
Yeah.
personal
I didn't know
tool
it
for
could
you
do that, Sid.
to,
I didn't know that
yeah.
part.
Right.
I
Yeah,
Oh,
knew
yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah.
resume side, but I didn't know that. How about other folks? Those are great things. How about
Right. Thank you, Siddharth. Maybe Maggie, you can read from what you have, and others maybe can share in simpler
some
words.
people like assistance in writing a white paper for sure. I think most of us anyway, have used ChatGPT and other tools as a wordsmith, right? Just getting our ideas organized on paper definitely helps with that. Um, but then other folks have noticed some people put too much trust in it, and that can be, I think most of us have used it, have definitely seen the pitfalls of hallucinations and stuff like that. So let's see what else we got in here. I was just taking notes from what Sid was saying. Some tasks need long prompts and still doesn't give a good answer. Yeah, sometimes it can be frustrating. You don't really can't tease out what you want, and what they like most helps with brainstorming and continuing a pattern of thought. Summarizing a meeting, that's awesome. Yeah, you can do that right here with AI Companion actually in Zoom now too. Great
Yeah.
ideas.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, everyone. So, yes, we can do so many things, and AI is everywhere. Rapid progress, too many options, not exactly correct. Prompting takes longer to understand, and sometimes it's so stupid that how much ever we try, it doesn't want to give the answer. Sometimes in ChatGPT, we get a wrong answer because of the defects. I was asking about, hey, I have this presentation on adapt AI, and what do you suggest? And it started giving me some presentation slide related to something similar, not mine. It's like so many things can happen. And then we have, as we are in the agile world, we can be agile and strategic on what to use. If we wanted to get everything at once, it's very difficult to do. But if we start with something small, something useful, something we know where it is going wrong, what is working and what is not working, and then slowly do it. So, for example, as Maggie was mentioning, Copilot is helping. It can summarize, it can provide contracts, it can provide. Now everything is AI, whether you like it or not. Word starts popping up saying, "Hey, hey, hey!" It's like a toddler. It will not let you think. If I'm writing poetry, before I used to write in a Word document, now I don't write it. I write it in a notepad. Because it annoys me, it really takes away my creativity suddenly. So many annoying things like that, but it also has a lot of uses. So, for example, if you throw in your idea into ChatGPT, it creates the slides for you. If you give one slide as an example and you say create everything in this way, may not be perfect. You have to rework, but it will give you answers. And then you can ask your emails. How many emails we get bombarded every day? In the Outlook now there is an AI, and you can ask every 45 minutes, 45th minute of the hour, please send me emails that are addressed to me, anything marked urgent, summarize for me and read it for me. That's what I ask. I put my Bluetooth, I go get my tea, and it's working so well for me. And my manager is not after me saying, "Hey, I asked you for something yesterday and I didn't get lost." So a lot of uses like that. And then Jira, now Jira has AI features. You can create using ChatGPT a lot of stories, and you can throw it into Jira. Jira will take care and create for you. And you can create test strategies. And I saw a Scrum Master saying, "Oh, I hate PI planning. Oh my God, how much ChatGPT does for you and how much Confluence it does for you is amazing if you deep dive." And then ServiceNow summarizes tickets and it analyzes and it data visualizes. Before we used to put these things together. And then you can do Power BI to bring data into Power BI. It gives everything. The reporting, my God, how many times we get asked reports and change one field. An executive pings you when exactly you are about to get out for lunch or something, a doctor's appointment exactly. Oh, I need it now. I'm in a meeting, right? So creating Power BI will take away that pain. Literally, they can do it, or you can train one of the people to do the summary, or you could automate emails saying, can you tell me what are the days you have meeting, and just to send a report. They'll be very happy and they'll forget your name. That's the best thing to happen in a company for you. So smart dashboards, updates, AI agents, and then apps. Lot of apps. So for example, I use something called Calm. I am a yoga related person, but this Calm application is psychology based, not yoga based. And it gives you every 1 hour reminders to take a mindful break. And it gives you different prompts, and it helps you. So things like that. And then we have AI in cars, self-driving cars, whatnot, banks, hospitals. Recently, I got a blood test done, and it was showing very high levels of white blood cells, very high level of red blood cells for a person who is very healthy. That's unusual when I have no symptoms. So I asked ChatGPT, why am I getting this? And then it came and said you might have had blah 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 blah. Then I prompted back, I didn't have any of these things. So where are you checking? Can you go check WebMD and tell me what it could be? And it came back and said the first thing is it could be the test is contaminated, and the second is again the same answer it gave. And then I called my doctor and said, hey, I've been asking about it, and all I was getting answer is nothing to do. So I called the receptionist and said, can you please put in same blood test again? It got contaminated. She didn't even ask where the information came from. She put it. I'm done. And I got the blood test done. Everything was okay. So it's so easy, right? You don't need to worry about anything else. And it can make appointments and make that call too. And I'm trying something on voice cloning for my voice and accent. I didn't think it would work out, but it is doing a good job. It's even picking up some Sanskrit words I use in a proper way. Not bad, actually. It's better than me because I say in between. It's not even saying that. I asked, don't use and it's working well for me now. So I can make this presentation ahead and not be here. So I would like to know from you all, what is the silliest task or question you have asked AI to do or wish you could do? So either put it in the chat, or maybe you can make it very brief and speak on the phone as well to you, whatever works for you.
I asked ChatGPT, why are you so difficult to use? And then it went on from there. Just having fun. Painting a rock.
You're taking away all the fun. Okay. Anybody else wanted to talk? You can talk while the chat is going on. So recently I asked one more question to ChatGPT. Uh, my kid said no to me when I asked to go out. What can I do? He's a teenager, obviously says no to everything first. And then it gave advice better than I would give to anybody or my mom would have given to me. I was like, oh, now you are grandma too. You can teach me how to parent my children. You want to summarize, Maggie?
Yeah, I love the outfit ideas for a concert. That's a great one. Describe what I look like. I'd like to see the. I don't think I'd be that brave to ask that one. This is really, this is so much silly as interesting. In my book, Steve asked ChatGPT to describe the 2008 financial crisis, in the style of comedian Philomena Kunk. I don't know that comedian, but I'm sure that was probably hilarious. A few people know who she is. Great.
Thank you, everyone. That was fun to think about it. So yeah, you can take out your anger, frustration, and yeah, it gives very bad jokes. I saw one of you mentioned that. It gives very bad jokes, and you can say you are stupid in giving jokes. It gets offended. It becomes humanly. It's so hilarious, actually. While driving, I do ask some questions using the voice prompts, and it's hilarious. It doesn't understand me. The voice cloning works, but if I ask with my voice, chat GPT doesn't understand. It gives us so much nuisance, unlike Siri doesn't understand me. So it's kind of like a cute and fun whenever needed. So, and then the next step is create a vision and plan. Once we start adapting for personal use, and maybe start doing a little bit into the work related things and things we already know where it works, and ask everybody in the team, hey, can we start using, say, Copilot or ChatGPT, and do one thing you already know well, where you are a subject matter expert? Can you please do one task so we can have a brown bag session and we can share with each other? That becomes a team effort and fun, because everybody is showing off not only how stupid AI is, but how smart they are. That is a icebreaker to start for the change management as well. And then the AI rush. So AI rush is real. Tools arrive before policies, before we understand. A manager might go and purchase a tool that we don't care for. Strategy becomes urgency because, oh, I already purchased some product and we are wasting the licensing fee, or we wanted to use, but suddenly we learn that our cybersecurity team doesn't allow it, or ethical practices doesn't allow to use. So for example, you are working in a sustainable energy field where you are working on environment in your company, and then suddenly you wanted to use chat gpt. Your company may not allow it because you are wasting resources and it is having impact, and it may not fit there with their objectives. So training staff, layoffs are already there, and then suddenly HR might talk about, oh, yeah, I can do your job. Really? So this kind of things can happen, setbacks can happen, people leave. And if you don't adapt AI at the same time, you people leave because they wanted to work in the up to date. Why would I work in legacy system, right? Then outdated technology you are creating, it is a rework and waste of investment, and you may not have budget, enough budget, but you have to find a way to do it. Sometimes they are free ones, so sometimes they are not. And then involve agile security, compliance, and legal terms early on before investing anything. And the last thing is prepare data. I missed it on this screen, but prepare the data before spending even a penny. Ask what kind of data does it require, what kind of quality does it require, and prepare that data. I had an experience where we were purchasing contracts related AI, and an executive went ahead and purchased it for us, and it fell into my lap because I'm the only person who worked on AI before. And then we didn't even have data. For pulling the contracts, all the PSAs from the company, it took 3 months. And then the system failed, their system failed, and it was not able to analyze the data from our system. So they said we have to upload to their cloud. And then complaints came and said we cannot upload to their cloud. And we had to clear that and find a way around. By the time we got to the point of analyzing, it was 3 months left in the 1 year licensing where we spent about 500K. So create data, create quality, ask for a pilot test before even signing up anything, and look into the contracts very properly. So given that AI hype turns the teams into chaos, is there a drama like in your company that happened because somebody wanted to adopt AI? something crazy happened, or something did not work out and that created an AI drama. Maybe whoever can speak, maybe 2 or 3 people in a short way would help while others are typing.
I think the biggest concern that I have in our company is privacy concerns. So if you're putting something into ChatGPT, they don't want you to put it in ChatGPT. And so if they do it internally, it costs a lot more money. So they're going to kind of prohibit you from entering things using AI.
That's exactly the point. If you don't provide the technology, people will start using out of network, and that will put you in the risk. So you have no go. Every organization, whether you are a AI specific organization or a normal pop and mom store kind of an organization, you must adapt. Otherwise, that risk is there.
And sometimes what it produces is better than I would have produced. So it kind of gives me some concerns when trying to share that information. So I have to dummy it down.
Right. You have to reword it so it doesn't know which company you are asking from. Sometimes I ask some questions in the private browser without logging into ChatGPT because I don't want my information to be there. Maggie, you want to summarize?
There was no other, nobody else typed in.
Okay,
This came
so
up.
let's move on. So you know the drama happens. Homework drama happens at home. One of my sons doesn't use ChatGPT. He's a good writer, but when the school screens it, it says he used AI, and they always punish him. And finally, what we understood is he is above his grade level in his vocabulary. So the particular AI that they are using looks at a 10th grader to write in a certain way, but he is writing at college level. And we had to talk to the school about it, and we have to talk to the son as well, saying, hey, run a test saying, is it created by AI? And if it says so, ask what wordings, what sentences are created by AI, and it will give you and tone them down. And that worked out, and his grade improved from about D to now B plus. You see how the drama creates. And then strategies to adapt AI. So change management is very, very important. Create psychological safety, address the elephant in room. That is, do we lose the jobs? Would AI replace it? Is there a value for me anymore? What will I do? So all these things, what happens is when AI is adapted, our roles change. We will not lose the jobs, but our roles will change. So, for example, I may be a product owner creating stories before. Now, ChatGPT creates stories for me, and I will upload them to Jira, make sure they are uploaded properly, and I make sure that I reviewed them, and I make sure the prompting and corrections happen with ChatGPT. So, the roles shift a lot, and it is still tedious work, but it's smarter than what we can do sometimes, or stupid than what we can do. And then context switching is real. Give enough time, leave buffer, and don't overwhelm people. Just because AI is there, it doesn't mean their work is got cut down. But it may be increasing because they have to correct so many times, so many points. And then in the initial stage, the learning curve is higher for the particular tool we are using, as well as for the AI and for the real person. And arrange team learnings, brown bags, showcase, and make sure they feel confident. And AI can mask problems, it won't fix the toxic culture. So if the culture itself is bad, AI will make it worse. So think about it before introducing any complex AI tools, because the blame games becomes higher, and retrospectives work better, to be frank, because AI has more empathy and it creates a better language for people. And when I summarize AI, I don't do it myself. I ask Copilot to summarize, and I use other tools saying, hey, this is the retrospective meeting and I needed to give a report. Please create something And I would use language that when you did this, I felt this way, that kind of a language, a compassionate language. And example, one example I give, first I ask what is the compassionate language, and then I update, and then I give one, and it creates. So, what is your superpower that AI can't touch? For me, it's a strategy. AI can never create the strategy I can create, so I still have a job. I still have market for my profile. So, what is one AI superpower you think AI cannot touch?
Well, people are thinking about that. There was a question from Christine. Can you give an example of context switching
Mhm.
with
Sure.
AI? Yeah.
So, what happens is when I'm writing, so for example, I'm a product owner. I'm sitting down and taking a paper and pen or a Word document, and I'm writing, these are my epics, these are my stories, and under the stories, this is what I'm writing, and then I cut and paste, and it's easier for me. And then I put everything in the Excel sheet and say upload, and I'm done with Jira before. But now, what we are getting asked, create a story, epic, using Copilot or ChatGPT, make it better than a real person can do, and make it better than an expert can do, make it better than a Scrum Master can do. And then we are asking, we wanted to upload, but upload doesn't work. It miserably fails. How do I do it now? So the work is more, the learning curve is higher. And when we are doing the context switching between writing a story, an introvert writing, sitting down and writing a story versus multitasking with multiple tools like a developer, which is a different type of a work, my brain is damaged. The context switching takes time. I can't write stories and ask ChatGPT, analyze it, and then start with a tool to upload and relearn and get into defects and start debugging why my stories are not getting in there, right? So this is all context switching. Did I answer your question? And that takes time. Brain can't just context switch. Christina.
We got to thank you.
Christine.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it's real.
Anything else, Maggie?
Context switching is a big thing. Yeah, we got some good, we got some funny anecdotes about Microsoft Pilot being bad at math, and
Yeah,
and
it is.
also Roseanne for sure lives this one. The empathy, intuition, and listening skills are definitely things that AI cannot touch. Zafar said EI or L is my superpower. What is that? Which EI are you talking about, Zafar?
It's EI, emotional intelligence.
Ah, there we go.
Awesome. See, that's exactly.
Perfect.
So, why AI fails in Agile? So, yes, the next step is um, risk mitigation. Before implementing, you have to think about risk and create project plans and risk mitigation plans and add stories for it. So these are some of the things. Cultural inertia, we have always done this, it doesn't work out, and people will start multitasking. Like Maggie and I do, we start checking emails in between, and we can't focus. So the learning curve is gone, and we think we can check back the recording, but I don't have 1 hour time. And then leadership mismatches, tools brought without team input, like the way I was telling about the contracts management, but 1 year before we were ready, and I was the product manager, I wasn't even know. Like I didn't know anything about it. And then my story points are full. I can't learn. I burned out. I just can't context switch. And AI investment doesn't fit existing systems. So we have to think of risk mitigation, and you can ask ChatGPT or Copilot for ideas, and there are other tools. And then treating AI wave as another innovation is another problem. Cloud came, mobile came, and different things came, but AI is totally different because it is acting like human while it is not, and frustrating all humans, right? So it's a totally different ball game from other tech events. So the change management is higher, the risk is higher. And then the other thing is office politics, power fights, reorganizations, and corporate chaos. This is one number one reason I think AI adoption is slower in many companies. And no change management. So the fear, anxiety, will it replace me? There is no buffer time for context switching. Nobody knows who implemented. So you have to have a strong leader who understands AI. So they can tell these things and say, if you are able to do 10 story points per week, please only fill 6 because you need 2 for learning and 2 for trying out and probably 1 more for context switching. Create more buffers in your work. Don't fill your bucket too much. Otherwise, it will get burned out. So, are there any other reasons you might have experienced where your AI projects would fail or adoption would fail? Anybody had any different reasons that I didn't notice? Yep, it won't end well. Yep, exactly.
I guess it
Pessimism.
might depend how you define failure. You know, like you can certainly spend a lot of time playing around with AI and not necessarily have anything to show for it. You know.
Right. So, not having a clear objective, why we are implementing, not because of the rush. That is one reason that happens. And then strategies to adapt. So this is where we can think of how to use some of the formats and live action demos. I'll come to this slide again. But the real lessons are you have to bring people, processes, innovation together to bring ROI. One doesn't cut the value. So merge AI wisely. We are already overwhelmed with multiple roles. And now you are saying, I will not give you a product owner. You become the product manager and do it all. So is it feasible? Are there checks and balances? Who is doing what? So you can start with something like that and have a strong leadership strategy, and with because leaders also need focus, creativity, and clarity, and they needed to plan. Yes, ChatGPT will give plan, but it's not necessary that it works for your specific scenario. Actually, it takes longer because you are assessing more risks that you wouldn't consider before because you know your work well, you know what works. But now you are using ChatGPT, it is adding more dilemma, more confusion, more chaos, and you have to add that into your project plan. And introduce AI early. Don't wait until crisis. Don't wait for the training. Start brown bag sessions. Whatever is free, start using it. And then use AI as an enabler. You are the owner. You are the head count. AI is not. If something goes wrong at work, your job is at stake, not AI's. So you have to use AI as an enabler. If your boss says, "Oh, you are using ChatGPT, you don't need a rec for product owner," um, then say, "Okay, if the product goes wrong, will you fire ChatGPT or me?" Simple, right? So it makes sense. It can be jovial, but it works. Ask ChatGPT, how will I tell in a jovial way, light-hearted way? Tell your boss's personality. It gives you some silly ideas that works well. And then clarify accountability. This is an operational one. I think most of you know what RACI chart is. R is for responsibility, A is for accountability, C is for consultation, I is for information. So in organizations that are complex matrices and stuff like that, what we do is we create 4 columns and we say, Maggie, you are responsible for this. Rama, you are accountable for this. Maggie, when you do this particular task, you would inform Al about it. So, and then what happens? AI becomes consulted. You can't inform because it's not a person. You can't say you are responsible because if anything goes wrong, AI can't be fired. And that gives a clarity for your manager, for budget, for stories, and you can write a story. Running my stories with ChatGPT, evaluating new risks, and updating my stories. I have 3 more stories. See, as simple as that. And then balance KPIs. Prioritize quality, security, and trust over the hype, because these are the things that goes for a task when you put lot of pressure on the team and AI is not properly adapted. Just like I'll go to ChatGPT and ask to do my work and throw it in there. I'm done, right? So keep it human. Ethics are important, creativity is important, legalities are important, confidentiality is important, sustainability is important. So is AI able to do that? No. So we do need to keep it human and invest in people. AI can assist, but it cannot replace. It can make you do better or worse based on how you are using, how you adapted, how you trained, how you provided change management. But do you want to increase your quality by adding ChatGPT, or you will say, hey, I will provide extra time for you to learn, but keep it light, and at the end you are accountable? Would you create a RACI chart for it as a project manager or as a scrum master? So what is the most important lesson some of you have learned in your own AI journey, whether by using it, not using it, or company allowing it or not allowing it? Are there any specific lessons anybody wanted to share?
And there's a follow-on question from Steve. Has AI hit the trough of disappointment phase? Is Steve, are you asking if AI itself is hit it?
Yeah, there's like anything else, is the early overpromise and over delivering. People are trying, companies are trying to make decisions, and we'll get rid of staff and things like that, and then they're finding, as you were saying, maybe not as easy, maybe not all it's cracked up to be.
I haven't had anyone pressure me yet, but I want to speak for others. Like if people set their expectations too high around using AI.
So let us try a few things. We have 10 more minutes left. So before we started our presentation, I asked ChatGPT saying, hey, I have a bracelet. Can you create images in different colors for me? And I'm sitting here after almost 45 minutes, it's still working on, and it's giving an excuse for me. And then I threw in my presentation here, and I said, can you create a list from my slides? The last section in each slide had a question. Can you create the list of the questions? Basically, I sent this to Maggie just a minute before our presentation, so she could put it in the chat. So it's well done, right? Something simple, nothing crazy. And then today, when I was creating the presentation, I created 2 slides first. I put the other things in the Word document. I did not create slides. And I said, my first slide is fixed. My second slide is how I wanted. It will have a particular trend saying a header, a subheader, and a table, and a question. I would like you to create all the slides in this format. If there is no data, either invent something. If there is data, do only that. If something is not fitting, leave it open. Don't make up anything that is not there in my content. That is the way you have to spoon feed ChatGPT. And it created my slides, but the design it used did not match the design word used. So I had to go back into my presentation and start redoing it one more time. So I'm going into my, so why my computer is stuck right now, as you can see. So what it did, it went here and I had to go back into my design and select for each slide what it did not create. So I went here and I selected my design because it created something very similar but not exact colors. So there was a mismatch, something like that. And as you can see in the Copilot, it gives you options when you create a slide now. So we don't need to create all the things on our own. What I did is I created this in a Word document first. So first I'm going into ChatGPT and I'm stopping it because it is taking away all my internet speed here. See how much internet it is consuming and it doesn't want to come out. I'm saying stop it, right? Stop. It doesn't. It takes time to stop it too. That would take, this is what is context switching is. Suddenly all I want to do is stop it and I lose 30 seconds out of it, right? And now I go into my Word document. I already created the prompts given the time limits we have. Okay, and this is how I created my prompts. So first I went into, okay. So you have to give a framework. Think of it as you are writing a user story. How you would give a context, saying, I am as a user, I would like you to be able to do this. This is my definition done. So like that, right now what I did, I went to Jira and created a project. Okay, so I am going back into the Jira. Sorry, I have to switch so many times, but so issue navigator in Jira. Jira can do automatic, but it doesn't create epics for you. So what you have to do is first you are creating your project, and then I created two epics here. In instructor portal, AI generated. What I'm doing is I wanted to create a ChatGPT system where it has two types of users, and I wanted to create AI generated fitness routines that I can share it with my clients. And as a client, I would like to track the fitness. So I went into my Agile journey here into the chat GPT and I have put the form. And here I'm also saying that the names and I'm also saying what are the types and the track fitness, right? And this is not enough because what type of fields you need in Jira, you needed to know. So I go here and I'm saying create stories for me in the CSV format and I'm telling what kind of a format I would like. Okay. And then now because I don't wanted it to create only two most important stories for each epic. Otherwise it will go and it will create too deep than I wanted. I may not need it right now. So it will come up and create a CSV format for me.
So
If you don't log in, you have to cut and paste. But if you log in, it will give you a file that you can automatically download. So there is a difference in logging in and not logging into the system. Why I like ChatGPT is it doesn't have a restriction. It gives you as many as you would like. But if you are using Copilot, first of all, Copilot doesn't do a good job in my experience on user stories. And then it says, keep saying, your credits are getting over. You used these many credits. And it gives three options every time and asks you to select. That's taking away my brain power more. Oh my God, get the shit done, right? Just give me something and I'll work. Don't be such a difficult intern for me. So I go to ChatGPT and I give very clear prompt. As you can see how much it is taking. So this is where I bio break. I check my emails or I ask Outlook to read my summary of the emails. So now that CSV is created, I'm downloading it, right? And then now that showing the folder. So I'm taking it into my presentation folder, so there is no confusion for me. Okay, so AI fitness project user stories. Now I go to my Jira. Okay. So now I am here into my Jira and I'm saying settings. I'm going into my settings and general settings. And here you can see the settings. Because ChatGPT is still taking time. While it's not doing anything, it is still listening. And I go into projects here. And I would say upload this.
Hey,
So there is
Rama,
a
just
old
to
and a new. 1 minute, right? So if you go here and you can say upload stories. The search feature is more powerful. And once you go in there, it will tell you how to do and you can go and do. And then comes the problem. It may not map all your stories and you have to map them by selecting each field saying map this, map this, map this. Yeah. So since we have very little time, I knew demos may not have enough time, especially the internet slowed down with some of the queries I made. So what I'm trying to do is just go back to the presentation slides
So it seems like
to wrap up.
from your example, Rama, it seems like
Hmm?
the more specific, just like when you're asking humans to do work, the more specific you can be with your parameters, right? As far as
Mhm.
what you want and also what you don't want. I know, like you said, I only want the two most important stories. That's
Right.
key, right?
Mhm.
Because Lord
So
knows how much you would get.
right. There are more stories like this. You can ask, I am a test and validation person. Based on the story provided, create a test strategy for me and create the stories. And you will give the fields it will create. And for example, ChatGPT is okay on certain things, but legal things, Microsoft 360 is embedded in it, the contracts 365. So you can say, I'm speaking at an event and I needed you to create a contract. And if you go here and say this, okay, so write a prompt and I go here and cut and paste this, it will create some information for you. But Copilot, many a times, one of the problems is it doesn't really work unless it is purchased and it is under the commercial contract. If you are using personal Copilot and if you ask this kind of a question, it waits for a while and it comes back and says, sorry, I failed. That can happen. So see, it's creating the agreement. You see how easy it is? Doesn't matter whether you are doing a contract, you are doing a purchase, you are entering, or you can take one of the documents you have. For example, I'm purchasing, say, my house. Remove the names and add it in there and say, I have this particular contract. Can you evaluate and tell me what is right, what is not in this particular thing? And can you tell me what are the terms missing as per the industry standard? Boom, it gives you the analysis better than your real estate agent.
Yeah.
I implemented AI contracts. So this is one of the things that will be useful. And the last thing I will mention and leave because we are already 3 minutes late, which is my not usual style. So for meetings, there is something called Meet Geek. The best it works for me. Copilot does recording, but it will slow down your system. But Meet Geek, you can send one invite to Meet Geek. It will join on your behalf. It will record and it will summarize. It will even tell you the tone is this. The particular person said this. And overall, I think this is the takeaway for Baggy. This is the takeaway for Rama. And the particular mood of the treatment is like this. People did not participate. It tells you everything that humanly not possible. So it is very easy to do. I tried joining. I don't know if at all I get it recorded. I don't know if it did or not. If at all it did, I will share it to Maggie to share with everybody. That will be very interesting.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. I can put it on the meetup or I can put it on the Slack. Also, we have the AI companion going too, so I had to duke it out.
Right.
I had to duke it out with
So right.
which AI is gonna win, given the best
Right.
summary there.
So that's the end of the story. So because we have other things planned in the next half an hour. So let's keep thinking though. AI can't replace humans. Where can we apply AI with the human touch? And how can we bring human touch to AI and our lives again? Because we are acting like zombies these days with AI taking away our intuition, our power, and overwhelming is in many ways. So how do we do it? So let's keep thinking. And, my standard statement, if you know me, you already know what is my statement. Breathe, be conscious, be strategic, be agile, and adapt AI. So, thank you, everyone. Sorry, I wish we have more time. But if you would like to arrange another deep dive into AI for specific tools, specific roles you have, I'll be very happy to work with Maggie to arrange probably extra sessions or one-on-ones or whatever that works out for the operations. So please, the last question is your role, and would you like to arrange one-on-one in future? If so, what is it? Whatever you would like to share, please share. I will have AI evaluate it and come up with the most asked questions and see if we can do something about it. Thank you, everyone.
Great.
Thank you very much, Rama.
Yeah, Rama,
Connect me on the LinkedIn
if you want
if
to
you
put your
can.
LinkedIn, I was about to say,
It's there. The QR code is right there, and my name is so unique. If you can type it, you will find me.
if you can get AI to type it correctly for you.
Right, without spelling mistakes. And that is another thing. You can ask ChatGPT, can you tell me what information is available on the web on me? And it will show you, and you can remove what is not necessary. One time it started showing my recipes and not my resume when I searched. So I had to bring down my recipes because I'm trying to be in software, not as a chef, right?
Right, that's really useful.
So research yourself.